Today we're going to talk about plurals and possessives. Specifically, we're going to talk about singular and plural nouns. We're going to talk about different plural rules. And we're going to talk about irregular plural nouns and nouns that are always written in the plural form. How to change a compound plural noun, or change a compound noun into a plural noun. How to work with singular possessive nouns, plural possessive nouns, irregular possessive plurals, possessive pronouns, and contractions. So, nouns, you learned from the parts of speech video that a noun is a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. You learned that common nouns name a category of people, places, things, or ideas. Examples would be employee is a person, state is a place, store is a place, ocean, and month. Those are all common nouns. You learned that a proper noun is a specific person, place, thing, or idea. It begins with a capital letter. So Tammy is a specific person. Washington is a specific place. And when we look at nouns, you should know that they can be singular or plural. The singular noun, of course, refers to one thing, one person, one place, or one idea, whereas a plural noun refers to a number of people, places, things, or ideas, so two or more make it plural. Most plural nouns are formed by simply adding the letter S or ES to the end of a singular noun. So, for instance, in the first column, we have sofa, showing the singular form of the word. You look over under the plural nouns and you see sofas. We simply added the S and that makes it plural. Building, buildings. River, rivers. Here we have glass. It ends with two S's, and then you'll see the plural noun, we added the ES. We made it glasses to be plural. Box, we had to add the ES as well. Plural rules, there are a few. We just talked about usually we can just add an S. Sometimes if a word ends with the sound CH, X, S, or just sounds like an S, sometimes those will end in an ES. So instead of kiss, you would change it to kisses. Sometimes you have nouns that end with a Y that are preceded by a consonant. If that's the case, then you change the Y to an I and add an ES. So the example here is we have the singular noun baby. We've changed that to the plural noun babies. Words that end in O but are preceded with a consonant, sometimes they're going to end in an S, sometimes they're going to end in an ES. So I've given two examples. Potato ends in an O, and to make it plural, we do add an ES. Memo ends in an O, but to make it plural, we simply add an S. So when in doubt, refer to your dictionary. Plurals of words that end in an F or an FE usually will change. You'll usually drop the F, change it to a V, and add an S or an ES. But keep in mind there's exceptions to this rule as well. So you see how we dropped the F and we've changed that to a V, and we've added the ES there. Some, I think, exceptions to that one would be belief and brief. How about chef? So there are others. You can look those up online if you were interested. Irregular plural nouns. Most plural nouns are formed by adding the S or the ES. However, there are several irregular nouns, and you can see here that the singular for child, CHILD, has to be changed to children to make it plural. So instead of adding an S to the end of child, child's, that doesn't work. We change the entire spelling. Children. Foot, feet, mouse, mice, ox, oxen, woman, women, man, men, leaf, leaves. So there are some irregular nouns that you want to be aware of, and that they completely change in their spelling to make it plural. Nouns that are always in the plural form, there's quite a few of these as well. Scissors, whether it's singular or plural, is going to be spelled the same. Clothes, pants, series, species, deer, traffic. So be aware of those types of nouns. We also have compound nouns that you're going to want to make into the plural. So when you see a compound noun such as businessman, you may want to change that to be businessmen. That would be the plural form of businessman. So basically you look at a compound noun like businessman, which is basically two different words combined together, and you take the last element of that and you change it to the plural form. Sometimes you're going to have hyphenated compound nouns like brother-in-law, you see here. And what you want to do with this, if you want to change that to be a plural noun, is you have to look at it and you try to find the main part, the base of what you're trying to say there. So brother-in-law would then be changed to brothers-in-law. So if you're trying to make that plural, if you have more than one brother-in-law. To show possessive form of a singular noun, you simply add the apostrophe S. So we have a noun, we want to show a possessive form, we add the apostrophe S. So Tammy's car wouldn't start, or Tammy's car is very nice looking or very fast. Kim's daughter is very pretty. So what you're doing is you're showing the possessive form by simply adding the apostrophe S to these singular nouns here. Now sometimes you're going to have a plural noun that's already written in the plural form, and you're going to want to make that plural noun possessive. So when you're looking at, when you're looking at a plural, so the Desmonds, and then you want to show possession of something. So what do we have? The Desmonds have a house, the Desmonds have a car, the Desmonds have children. So if you're showing possession of those things, you're going to put the apostrophe after the S because it's already written in possessive form. So you just simply add that apostrophe after. Or did I say possessive? I can't remember if I said possessive or plural form. I wish I had a rewind on this, but you don't. The Beau's daughters are beautiful. So here we're talking about the Beau's having daughters, and they're all beautiful. So the Beau's daughters, you're making this possessive by putting the S or the apostrophe after the S. Irregular possessive plurals. These ones we talked about a little bit. Children, women, men, leaves. They're already written in the plural form. So to show possessive form here, you're just going to add the apostrophe, then the S. So here's an example. She owns a women's clothing store in Seattle. So women is more than one woman, and we're just simply showing that possessive form by putting the apostrophe S there. The children's preschool, again, children is more than one child, so we just simply add the apostrophe S to make it possessive form. Pronouns. You learned in the parts of speech video that a pronoun takes the place of a noun or a group of nouns. The noun that the pronoun refers to is called the antecedent. So possessive pronouns are used when a pronoun shows possession or ownership, who or what owns something. So for instance, singular pronouns would be my, mine, your, yours, his, hers, her, hers, its, and plural would be our, ours, their, theirs, your, yours. So when you're writing possessive pronouns, there are two different ways a possessive pronoun can be used. You can use a pronoun like an adjective, and then that adjective would be modifying the noun, or a possessive pronoun can stand alone. It doesn't need to modify a noun, so it could just stand by itself. So here's an example. If you look here, Tammy took her car to Le Schwab for new tires. So we know Tammy's the subject. We know took is the verb. Her is the pronoun referring back to Tammy, which is the antecedent. When you look at her car, what's happening is her is being used as an adjective to describe the car. So her car. Whose car is it? It's her car. So that's one way a possessive pronoun could be used. And here's another example. That beauty station is hers. So hers is the pronoun, but it's standing alone. It's not modifying a noun in the sentence. So something to remember when you're working with possessive pronouns, you want to remember that pronouns and possessive pronouns and contractions are totally different. So now that I've introduced, adding apostrophes to show possession, you have to be careful not to confuse possessive pronouns with contractions. So think of this: a contraction is a word formed by joining two words together, and basically what you're doing is you're using that apostrophe where you're going to be omitting letters. So here, this example, it says your is a possessive pronoun and you are is a contraction for the words you are. So this is a big one. I've noticed on the internet, people are ruthless when you use the wrong, if you use your or you are wrong. People will they attack it. It's like the one thing that they learned in school, and so nobody shows any grace where this is concerned. So be really careful when you're writing your or you are. So say the sentence out loud, or better yet, don't use contractions. Just make sure that you're, thinking, if you're thinking of using your with the apostrophe, say the sentence out loud, like say you are, and see if that you are would fit into the sentence. So another one is it is a possessive pronoun, and it's with an apostrophe is a contraction for the word it is. So keep that in mind. There is a possessive pronoun, and there is a contraction for the words, oh, I spelled that wrong. Okay. I actually made a mistake here. I think I meant to do THE apostrophe RE for, oh wait, no, yeah, THEY apostrophe RE, and so that's where the mistake is there. Please forgive me. Whose is a possessive pronoun, and who, comma, s is a contraction for who is. So just kind of keep those little things in mind. I have a few examples here just to give you a better idea of their uses. So here's a sentence: you left your hat on the desk. Your is being used as a possessive pronoun. You wouldn't say you left your hat on the desk. So that wouldn't work at all. So for sure you wouldn't use the contraction. Here's a use of like you are. It says you're very pretty. So you apostrophe RE would work there because you could actually say you are very pretty. So you would use the contraction, or you would spell it The dog liked its toys. So here you're seeing its is being used as a possessive pronoun, is not being used as a contraction, because you wouldn't be able to say the dog liked it is toys. That wouldn't make sense. Here's another example of its, because I think this is a harder one that a lot of people confuse. The cat ate its food. Again, no apostrophe because its is being used as a possessive pronoun. It's cold outside would be the contraction because you could say it is cold outside. So hopefully that helps you with the difference between possessive pronouns and contractions. Here's a list of some frequently used contractions. We've, we have, whose is, or who has. They are, we will, I am, let us, is not, you would not, do not. So notice in each one of these that where the letters have been omitted is where the apostrophe goes. So in summary, we talked about singular and plural nouns, plural rules, irregular plural nouns, nouns always in plural form, compound plural nouns, singular possessive nouns, plural possessive nouns, irregular possessive plurals, possessive pronouns, and contractions. So make sure that you feel comfortable with those before you move on.